on opposing sides, and now as we are going to be jumping into the draft, we got to ask the question: how does SRG dig their way out of this? Right? I mean, they talked about being
I hear a joy ban.
the advantage. You heard the joy ban.
Yep.
There we go, off to a good start.
And TLID is the one banning out. They know how strong Joy first pick is strikes.
Yeah, do you think they ban the Suyo as well here?
Ooh.
You think they just like that way you don't get Blue Yo, you don't get Joy, then it just leaves nothing but like Hayabusa, a few other options.
By the way, SRG is the one that banned Hilda.
Yeah. This is a little interesting, right? I don't know if TLID is still going to go for the 3 bans towards 1 dedicated role, maybe even a 4th one in the second phase. But the fact is, SRG is now first pick coming around in this game, and TLID is coming in as second pick on that red side. The fact that they got rid of the Hilda means that, honestly, Pram was kind of okay. He wasn't, the big reason why they kind of dropped the ball in game number 1. I would imagine they want to get a better jungle matchup this time around, and they also banned out the Bruno.
So SRG, they're on their first pick this time. We haven't seen them ban the Hilda. They go for the Hilda because they're always second pick. At least that's what they've been today. So I think this time they respect the swing back, right? They know that TLID is going to get 2 picks back. So it's like, we're not going to give you the Hilda. We're not going to give you the Bruno. But TLID is smart enough to say, fine, you can either have Blue Yo or you can have Granger. You choose, sir.
Difficult question, both of which are very popular between these teams.
Yeah, definitely very popular, but both have their own dynamic, their own flavor they bring into the game. You have the Granger, you see it deal massive damage. We've seen exactly what that can do, especially into the hands of Innocent, right? Breaking records with this hero. But then you're talking about other heroes that can definitely walk in. That could be a threat. You could try and go in. Oh, nope, there it goes.
Go for the Granger, because even if they get Blue Yo, or now it's Red Yo, Suyo, SRG can still pick up the Hayabusa, which they've done very well against Suyo with.
Does that mean that they're going to go for an early game composition, right? Because again, you know that Granger is going to pop off once he hits level 4. He can basically win out a majority of his lane as long as he's hitting his Death Sonata shots, but we're not seeing the big enablers. I'm not seeing that Jawhead come through just yet. I'm not seeing like heavy early game pressure. Until we see the Hayabusa plus Jawhead, I'm not going to believe it.
That's exactly what I was thinking, right? It's Haya Jawhead unless TLID takes something here. It's very similar to what we saw from them on blue side against Team Spirit, on red side on Team Spirit, second pick for you, LaFell. On second pick against Team Spirit, it's just a little bit of a switch up. TLID decides to go for Yves, Suyo.
Oh, okay, so the Z pickup, they're going to have some artillery, they're going to have some range at their disposal for the side of TLID. But for SRG, right, now you get the chance to get Cram and Yums comfortable. They want to get something that can get to that back line, especially going up against this Eve. The Gatot is a hot pick, especially into the hands of SRG, and definitely up for grabs, especially with them taking off the Hilda from the board. Could be a threat. The Cho is available as well. Both
the Jawhead.
Some wise decisions. The Jawhead also up for grabs.
Jawhead Haya, that's where I would say. That's what they've been doing with this comp.
I feel that if the jungle is flexible, I would even be okay with Jawhead Gatot,
Actually, that's not a bad shot, because inevitably you want to still hold on to that flex pick, right? You don't want to just be so honest and say, hey, we're playing early game, counter us in the second phase, but go Haya Glue instead.
But you still get some options. You can still switch up your roamer, and I think the Jawhead would have had a little bit of trouble with the Yves, kind of. So
yeah, true.
It's comfortable at least, and now you can still switch up, pick whatever roamer you want. You have options for mid. Cho is taken by TLID though.
So now it's like aiming for Yums then, because they already have the Cho, so they don't have to worry about their own roamers. So just take out the rest. And so what are you looking at here? Edith, the Tigreal.
I'm thinking the Tigreal, I'm thinking the Edith as well. Both are really good options. But let's get rid of, map presence heroes. I don't think that TLID is going to ban out Chip. I feel like the onus is on SRG. If they are worried about it, they basically lose 1 free ban on that second phase.
Now,
that's tough.
They're going to have to play for survivability as well, right? You have this Hayabusa who can dive to the back line. You have this Glue who's going to be very hard to kill, and not to mention, we all know what Innocent can do with a Granger. I was going to say the Hylos could definitely be a very wise option, and particularly in the gold lane, maybe going for something with some peel, right? Maybe going for something that can fight from a little bit further. Maybe the Iridil may sneak up in here.
Yeah, so they waited out. They don't ban the Chip immediately. They give the option to see exactly where TLID is going from here. A lot of teams have been banning out this lead in second phase. We'll see how it goes from here.
All right, Jawhead ban as the follow-up to ensure that SRG don't have a stronger early game. I think the Phoveus ban is kind of interesting here, right? Because you're already playing Glue. Glue is basically the winning matchup against the Phoveus. Are they more worried about the potential extra dashes they're going to add to their composition?
Honestly, that's a good shout. And maybe they're a little bit worried about if the Phoveus gets on top of the Granger, the Granger might have a difficult time running away from the Phobias because Aran is pretty good at getting that Sin stack onto targets. And I think that the Granger is within the second skill range. So maybe, I'm just speculating here. But yeah, they could have more, like the Valentina. The Valentina has a lot of dashes. So maybe the Valentina could get picked up here.
All right, Harith going to be the follow-up ban here. Again, really good idea just to make sure you're getting away from the linearness, the straight lines being determined by that Granger, and that's going to be an instant Moskov lock-in for TLID.
So very boxy right now from TLID, literally trying to play inside of this world manipulation, creating space, looking for small pickoffs, but not a very, you know, I would say widespread, well attacking. I'm excited to see Aaron Shiki on this Moskov though. I feel like we've seen him on so many long-range poke marksman compared to something that's a little bit more up close and personal.
I trust he can do it though. I trust he can do it, yeah.
Now for SRG, what do we see here, right? Because we have the glue kind of throwing things into mix, definitely keeping it interesting. Do they go in for some additional die capability, right? I mean, you have already the Hayabusa who can get the job done. Do you go in for this Hylos pickup? Do you go in for this Gatot that can jump to the back line and create some chaos, especially up against this Eve, who's already having major artillery? Speaking of artillery, we gotta see what the mid lane matchup's gonna be as well. There it is, the Vexana picked up with the Cobra.
I love this.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's kind of do or die, I gotta say.
100% win rate though. Cooper's 100% win rate.
I'm sure, but
It's only been played twice. There's very small data pool around it, but their composition is very straightforward. Look for these big engages, poke out your opponents, and at least they have the Vexana to play for high ground if things go sour. TLID, they can play flexibly, but they need to play within the box, right? Combo off of that kick, maybe look for this small skirmishes in the early game to generate leads.
I will say this, the Kufra it works okay against the Suyo. The bouncing ball helps against a lot of what TLID brought. And SRG doesn't bring this pick out very often, but these are the compositions that it brings it out again. But that is a wild card pick, a chip.
honestly, very good draft here coming in from TLID. The only thing that I worry about the Kufra is if you don't get onto your target and then the real world manipulation pops up, I don't see a world where the Kufra can get out, you know? So that's just my personal opinion. TLID looks like to have a very good draft. Right now, Oxiana Arena, make some noise because we're about to start game number 2 with Naisu, Leo, and Mirko.
Thank you so much, panel, for breaking it down. And you know what? 100% win rate on the Kufra. 2 games, I would flex it too. But again, the lineups here, how do we feel about it, Mirko?
Hey, I've never seen Aran play the Cho.
Yeah.
I've seen Witty play the Cho. I've seen Witty play the Chip. But the Cho on Aran is new.
Hey, this is a witty party incoming.
It is. It's gonna have to work for them again. A long game number 1 that we just witnessed. Will it change this time around in game 2? Jumping into the land of Dawn. Can they even out the series here for the home team, SRG? Take a look. Jungler, the matchups. You know, we've seen just constant Hayabusa pop up time and time again. And it works for a lot of teams. We saw it earlier on from SRG. We'll see if they replicate it. But yeah, the Kufra pick. Is this going to work out really well for SRG to set things up here?
Some tells me it's a little bit more in-your-face type of response, especially to the shortcut. It's very similar to the Arlot, wherein you swipe him out of order. Here you just full-on combo.
Revitalize from Witty. They're going to actually steal this waste, guys. With the Watch Shadow, turns bench. Knocking him up. Yum's very low. Oh, gets away.
Survives via the bouncing ball. Fabian fails to find any more on the clapback. Big win for SRG.
Already with the first of blood, good to start here for Sakai's. Early kills on this Hayabusa are going to help him have that momentum he's looking for, and taking a look at the emblems too. You know, he's got the Warcry emblem, so he wants that little extra damage. We saw this and how fast he scaled early on, but also to top it off, you know, Innocent playing this Granger, we saw what he did previously. He broke records on it. How many kills did we have?
19.
19 on the Granger, setting records, and also it just got one of the awards, of course, here for M6. Aaron Shiki looks to be the focus up here, but Witty is here to help back him up. Now, even for TLID, with this kind of lineup, they want to play as a team, have that front right around the real world manipulation, and if they can get a pickoff with Aran later on, because like Mirko said, this is not typical where you see him picking up that Cho, but they have pick-off potential for them.
Slow roll on this Lord, the approach by both teams. Small lead for Team Liquid ID. They do make a B-roll line for it.
Yep. It's the Blitz, the Retribution. Oh! Way the Dragon and the Flicker over to Yums, bringing him back now. RWM coming down with SOD too. Aaron Shiki not gonna take it. Witty with the flank.
And they go in, knocking up Cram. Not much of a punish though. Team Liquid ID spread out.
Shadow kill. Instant revitalize coming in from Witty. Crash Course 2. Sky's gonna be stunned up. Goes over to Quad Shadow and disengages. Cram caught on another Crash Course. Pops in the split. This should be the disengage unless... No, right? Okay, yeah.
Aaron holding his ground there, checking where Cram was gonna go either way.
Disengage.
Liquid ID happy with the turtle secure here. Selangor Giants, something tells me the ghosts of Game 1 are still hunting them.
They're still hunting them, and with that, they go with an adjustment, but nothing too crazy, you know? But at this point, this is where you start to see those first items getting a little bit closer here, and where we start to see some of the power spikes already happening, especially for the junglers themselves. And every single time, I mean, even their journey up to this point, when TLID brought this chip to play, they play around it really, really well. And it is one of the few teams, or at least one of the few picks, that TLID likes to go ahead and utilize. There's the Hunter Strike already for Fabian, locked in. First item priority for him, but Sakai's and Yume's will look elsewhere across map. Good wave cutting here and management too on the bottom side, but TLID still kind of just waiting. They can always use a shortcut if they need it.
That's the threat of activation that Witty is using. Just the mere thought of a Witty party crashing into you is enough to keep Selangor Giants on their own side of the map. This is devious. Team Liquid ID knows that they've got SRG up against a corner.
And Fabian is now 2 levels ahead of Skies. He's constantly invading because Aran is cutting the wave, giving him so much tempo on the map. And wow, that's a good read. SOD in towards the top side jungle of SRG. And it spots them. Now Fabian is going to stay in the bottom lane.
He's going to stay there, working forward. Yumes gets the information on Cram at least. Not sure if he's going to do much here, but it's more so just giving vision on this side of the map. They know Sakai's is actually starting things up, and like you mentioned, you know, he's falling further behind up to this point, but the rest of the team gets in position for the turtle here.
A singular ult from Witty can actually pull the rest of TLID into the turtle pit, and they're just waiting for his call.
Okay, Yums not spotting the bush. Witty though, getting chunked quite low. Aran, way the dragon over the Skies. This is a 2v1 situation. There's a shortcut coming down. Oh, he takes a shortcut, leaving Skies all alone in the bottom lane.
And now suddenly it's underneath the turtle. The pit is tight.
Target advantage and the rage. That's his skill pinned down to the wall. Fabian forced to blink away. Skies now returning in. No shadow kill, but Innocent is gunning Aran down slowly but surely.
Might not have been part of the plan to take Cram with him, but here we are anyways. SRG pushing into mid.
Okay, should still be able to defend this. Curse blast. SOD into the back. Aran going in. Skies gets the kill on Witty. Aaron will blink in towards the mid lane.
There's a whole lot of shortcuts happening and a whole lot of usage of that macro style and option, but TLID will lose this turtle as Sakai's secures it in. Took them a little longer to go ahead and lock in, but they get it. Now whittling down at the gold lead, so it's pretty much non-existent. So that's the thing, you know, TLID has to go ahead, and sometimes if they use a shortcut in their favor, we have also seen where sometimes it works against you.
And it's all about Yums in these fights. We've seen it many times before. Fabian, Soul Severed into Innocent. Yums can try it. Predict it. Aran in the back, actually missing the Jikundo flicker. Bouncing ball on him. Fabian just quelling him and forcing him to back away.
Hey, even if Yums did miss, I'll still call that a win. They forced the rest of Team Liquid ID to disengage, and that allows the rest of SRG to actually build up on the lead that they got through that back and forth through the turtle, and the shortcut canceled. The shortcut made use against Liquid ID. Now the switch, look at this. This is Cram actually now putting some pressure on Aaron Shiki.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. And this is also Skypiercer now being picked up by Innocent, second item after that Hunter Strike locked in. Over on the other side, Aaron Shiki just has the Corrosive Sight, so still working on his and building that up. But ultimately, it's just a whole lot. This is probably one of the most macro level games with these kind of lineups, especially when you throw a chip into it. But now, next turtle coming up here in just a second, you're going to see how they rotate through as the golden staff is picked up by Aaron Shiki.
It's almost like for both these teams, Liquid ID, they like to play in the late game in MPO Indonesia, right? For SRG, we've seen them transition into late game comebacks. Aran, Shadow Kill onto him with a Dragon to kick Yums in. Real World Manipulation, Eternal Guard coming out. Yums still able to survive.
A little too much time taken. Yums taken down here by the untouchable one, and now he's underneath 3.
Okay, whoa, what? Cram jumps in under the turret, gets punished for Innocent, gets the kill, Fabian low. That's another not able to find it. Sky's gonna be pinned down to the wall as a Purify gets used by Aaron Shiki. It's a 2-for-2 at the end of the day. Innocent going to the S-kill. Aaron Shiki with the Spear of Misery.
Looking for that angle. Could have been deadly. If Sekais get caught underneath that turtle, would have been a surefire win for Team Liquid ID. SRG minding their positions.
And with this, last turtle fought for and bought for right now, and Aran goes in. Gonna force out the guys.
Okay, Dr. Bench, Rage, Terrified down. Aran gonna be very low, so able to escape as a shortcut comes in. Aaron Shiki joining the fight.
Here comes the Witty party. Sekai's taken out by Fabian. Solo kills him.
Kram, split. The gun down with the Rhapsody. Witty gonna be locked down. Innocent picks up another kill. That's another sack into the Sky Piercer. Aaron Shiki forced back under the tier 1.
Liquid ID cannot take this fight. They have no frontliners. And look at Ikram asserting himself underneath tier 1.
And now SRG has control. They got the last objective, the last turtle. They get a turret off of it, and Innocent capitalizes by picking up the Malefic Roar. A whole lot here happening for SRG, and a momentum shift in their favor now.
Without Witty, without Aran coming in from the odd angle, Team Liquid ID just can't pick fights. They need the peel. Fabian just doesn't cut it. He's technically still an assassin fighter.
Yep. More fighter than assassin, almost even, right? It's very hard for Fabian to actually walk up, especially considering there's just so much peel. There's obviously Yums, who's always looking for an opening. There's Stormy, who's playing so far back, even further behind of Innocent in these fights to get that Terrified peel.
The crazy thing about it is Stormy, just like we saw him last game. Whoa, hold on.
Shortcut, drop down. Yums, Spear of Misery coming down. That's going to be Witty. Caught in the stop time pass. Witty's still able to escape right now as the sun connects on towards Mr. Innocent. Oh!
Coming in, they're oiled up. That's Aran finding him in the back line. Innocent's down.
Yums, counter bench and no Rage. Aaron Shiki with a blink, Pram with a flicker in. Aaron Shiki's able to kite away. So split can't do stuff. Real world manipulation.
Fabian looking for the Queller, serves up a kill to Yehezkiel, and Cram, the only survivor.
Fabian looking for the kill. That's a soul sever to get more sustain. Cram getting the pass. Sniped down by Flavor Fave.
Finds the shot, and Sekai's couldn't do anything but watch as the team was dismantled by the cavalry.
Main strength of the Suyo is his almost infinite utility. At all sorts of different ranges, any different kind of damage profiles, you can use his kit, and he's currently deathless. Now they're blitzing the Lord.
Don't take it, Skies. Don't take it. Aran is holding his fort just on the quad shadow. Now it's the First Lord over to Liquid ID.
And with that, they find themselves probably the most gold lead they've had throughout this game. It's been the back and forth overall, and Witty will keep trying and trying again. Sometimes the shortcut works out for him, and sometimes you have something like that happen. And now they have the Lord in their favor, ready to march forward. They're going to focus down in the mid lane if they can to take some of these tier 1s and tier 2s down.
Everything is going according to plan for Team Liquid ID. The Ghost of Jakarta just 1 kill on Yehezkiel's Eve. Aaron Shiki currently untouched. What the Selangor Red Giants need to do? It seems like all of their angles, the whole Cram jumping onto someone just isn't paying off anymore.
Yeah, it's not at this point. They have to kind of adjust the game plan here. You know, they've gone through it, but a lot of the times, again, it's just kind of the surprise factor that comes with either getting kicked when you least expect it, or... Whoa. Guys, trying to hold that Lord at least on the control on the bottom side. Now the mid, though, still the focus here. They're going to get cut off. Yums.
Spear of Misery. Yums going to be caught in a bad spot. RWM from Yehezkiel!
Swiping. Yums is down. Fabian gets one.
Spear of Misery.
It gets a stun. Sekai's pushed back.
No, it on Shiki! Brings forward, gets the killing spree. Yums and Skies is down. Aaron on the chase, waiting for the shortcut. Now Fabian!
They're oiled up. Stormy's down. Fabian gets another. Aaron Shiki is a man possessed.
Innocent trying to defend. Man, that Yehezkiel damage is ridiculous. tier 2 falling in the mid lane. Aran looking for the G Kundo. He has the way to Dragon. Aaron sieging the base. Innocent trying to poke them down.
In the flash of an eye, 2 inhibitors have fallen, and Selangor Red Giants are reeling. They have but 1 inhibitor left.
And with that charge from Team Liquid ID, they have ballooned their gold lead up to this point. You saw just how decisive it is when they decide to go with these angles, cut off or surprise the Giants. And there's not much room for SRG to breathe, and that's where they're struggling, because even Innocent is scrapping for space to be able to move around and get those Rhapsody shots, get those Death Sonatas off.
Thousands of Suyo mains all around the world are salivating right now, looking at Fabian's 505 performance. He just picked up his BOD. This is a dream come true for Suyo. This is what you want to do. You just want to be able to surge in, Queller, and then just sever. Like, that's what he's been doing so far. And Selangor Giants, as soon as Humes actually finds someone to jump on, the rest of them are half health. It's a no-go.
They got spotted out a lot, and I gotta give props to Aran, man. He's been the one forcing Yums into these bad spots. Earlier, you saw the Shunpu, just a little bit of a Jikudo, you know, a tango with the Tyrant. Revenge whiffs, and that's it. Fabian found the angle. We saw Aaron Shiki get the pin down. And with Yums down, there's no playmaker.
It's very rare that the problem overwhelms the solution. Kufra is a hero that usually just makes Cho stay put, but suddenly it's Aran who's forcing Yums to dance to his tune.
And that's why, again, there's so much that SRG has to pay attention to. Even now, that top side being pushed in, still with Witty waiting on the whims alongside Aaron Shiki. They know they want to fight for the space around the Lord, but they're going to have to deal with more of this.
Good poke. Yehezkiel's down to half. Innocent doing work here. You can see the damage dealt charts earlier. He was actually on top. Whoa. Shadow Kill in nature used up. Skies will back away. That's info though. No Wind of Nature on Aaron Shiki. That's Sonata. Not connecting onto anyone. Aran trying to block it. Witty.
RWM, Lord now down to a 10th of its health, and now they're underneath.
Fabian with Retribution, finding it. Yum's gonna be pinned down again. That's a split on Yehezkiel, but he was just a bait. SOD from Aaron Shiki, diving deep and Purify. Aaron!
No! A little too deep. The untouchable one suffers a death, and Aran as well. Innocent gets a double.
That's three down. 3 down already. They are going to have to deal with clearing out the base, but SRG just might have bought themselves some more time into the game after that one. Interesting that Aaron Shiki decided to go in, even without the Wind of Nature.
It may have been a miscommunication. Aran saw 2, and I think there was more there than Shiki was ready to deal with. So, given how deep Widdy was as well, without the Revitalize, there was only so much they could have done. So Liquid ID now, they're going to have to suffer the consequences here and gain negative on this Lord.
Yeah, no Lord advantage for Liquid ID. Well played from Selangor Red Giants. I think all this time from Game 1 to the 13th minute of Game 2, it's the unpredictability of Liquid that has really shaken them. The fact that they were able to finally read that unpredictability, the random engages, the ones that look kind of impossible almost, they found it, they read it.
They found it, and not only that, but they also capitalize off it. And if SRG continues to do that, at this point, honestly, even with the gold lead at TLID, it doesn't matter too much because it comes down to the decisions that SRG is able to make.
Game after game, match after match, SRG has proven that even if you have 6, 7, 8,000 gold on them, any fight is a fair fight, especially when you have this many items on Esan, this many items on Stormy, because I'm telling you now, Stormy's just built 3 major items? Usually if he gets the EG down at the right spot, that's enough to take him down.
Yeah, that's enough to go ahead and help with it, but still, part of that, if it's all going to be just a reenactment of what we just saw, at least leading into this next Lord. It's still a minute away. They still have plenty of time. It might be TLID that decides to go ahead and press it forward before that even comes up, before it even comes an option to get punished the way they did, where important battle spells or even defensive items are available to them.
All right, that is actually true. TLID still here in the driver's seat, but you can't deny the fact that SRG actually now know how to answer. They're not as up and on it as they were in the 10-minute mark.
10 minutes,
so suddenly, Liquid ID, is this the way you want to go? Is this a cautious way, the way you want to finish this game? Because I still think with Widdy on the chip and Aaron Shiki on the Moskov, you got to be a wild card.
Yeah, you have to be able to approach that the way they are, and SRG rising to the occasion so far, but also at this point, as they get in position. You know, this is part of the difficult part is, yeah, that tier 1's actually still standing. So they're kind of cut off to a certain degree on their side of the jungle. But they want to take that fight. If they want to go ahead and deal with this kind of space and make that work in their favor, then they rely on Cram. They rely on Yumes to possibly set up. But then at the same time, you got to be able to peel. As long as Innocent has a Purify, for the most part, he's going to be fine. Stormy as well. Not this time around, not being able to fly away, but he can flicker. So they need to have someone to initiate, but also peel for them. This Lord is going to be started up, though. But they got to deal with the waves. Look at the positioning again on the top side.
Okay, Fabian walking up. Oh, putting the torque down. Arrow Shiki jumping in as well. The SOD already used earlier. Cram with the split. Big resources spent, no shortcut, no SOD. Still an RWM and a way the Dragon to play with.
Looks like the call for Team Liquid ID is to burst the Lord. They're slowing down with a dance. Fabian coming in with Charge Surge.
Innocent caught and Soul Severed. That's a good win of Crown, but now Yums comes in. Eternal Guard to lock Fabian out. RWM though, they're fighting in it now. Aaron Shiki onto the Eternal Guard. Prime going to be very low, taken out, and now the stun. Fabian cuts him down. Aaron Shiki!
Traded out for 2 for 1. Cram for Witty and Yehezkiel. Innocent from the back line. In comes Aaron.
Yums chase down. Liquid want to go and charge down on Yums. Aran, Jikundo knocking him up. Way the Dragon as well. Shiki go onto the waves now. Yums, no immortality.
And they are going to force it. Yums here, bouncing ball off. The pushback, the SOD. Aaron clicks it. He can't take down Stormy. Got immobilized.
He's going on to the turret. Buys immortality. Aran walking up. Yums charging his counter bench. Cancels it now as Aaron Shiki goes in for the piercing damage. The base will be turning it down. Aaron Shiki.
He gets it. They end the game just with the two of them really lining everything up to take game 2 here.
From underneath SRG's noses. Everyone wasn't ready for it. Down to the last breath. Liquid ID, what did I tell you? The wild card.
The wild card, the wild cavalry. They brought this lineup, they made it work. I mean, some of the team fights, there's just so much happening. But TLID locked in and got it done.
And as Witty, the